All right, guys, we are recording. Welcome to Diesel Core's April 2018 team call. The year is flying. Doesn't it feel like we just are celebrating the new year, and here we are. And most of you guys are about to cross the finish line with 80-day obsession. Like, I feel like you just started yesterday. How is it we're here already this quick? It's crazy how fast everything is happening, but it's exciting times. And the guest that I have for you guys tonight is extra exciting because we were actually in the 80-day obsession test group together. So that's how we met, and it's going to be such a treat for you guys to hear from her. She's got so many amazing things that she's going to share with you guys tonight. Before we jump into that, let me do a little bit of recognition. I really wanted to recognize the Success Club earners in March because I know that it was a tough month, especially with spring break, especially for the parents and, you know, having the kids home. I know for me, I felt like life was upside down for a whole 10 days, but a lot of us remained steadfast and focused and got our goals, crossed off our goals for the month of March. And it was just awesome to see. So I wanted to make sure I recognize all of those coaches. Our top earner in March goes to Angela Matos, Angie. Angie hit Success Club 48. You go, girlfriend. Then we have myself, my sister Veronica Cavalcante, Alyssa Eskin, Dixie Andrade, Casey Mangler, Becky Cooper, that's my mama bear, Tabitha Bogue, Christopher Matos, which is Angie's husband, Sue Lepre, Lizette Suarez, and Gina Cohen. Those are all Success Club 10 plus qualifiers. That is awesome. Now, I want to also recognize Success Club 5 earners in the month of March. We have Stephanie Shrills, Donna Paniagua, Janine Bravo, Essie Asbide Flores, Michelle Perella, Marty Gunnels, Selena Cefontes, Debbie Nelson, Samantha McDonald, Christy Cook, Dawn Gremley, and Anna Hernandez, which we just found out today she did qualify. It was a nail biter. She crossed the finish line. So exciting times, guys. Way to go. If you did not reach your goals in the month of March, you know how we always talk about this, guys. Clean slate. Everybody starts from zero now in the month of April. And there's so many things that we have in our favor to cross the finish line in April. So let's talk about that real quick. For all of you guys that attended Super Saturday, by the way, in the chat section, tell me where you were. I saw a lot of you guys in different Super Saturdays all over the country. Go in there and post where you went. But here in Miami, it was extra exciting. You guys know that we finally found out the name of the new program that's launching, the Mes de Más. And the trainer is Idalis Velasquez. And we had the honor of hosting her here in South Florida. So that was really exciting. That was the first time ever, guys, in the history of Beachbody that a brand new trainer was brought on to the family, and a local event got to host her for the very first time. Got to host a live workout for the very first time. So we got to do that. It was history in the making, and it was super exciting if you attended. We also got to try the beach bars, which are so delicious. Like, raise your hand if you're PB and chocolate, team PB and chocolate. I'm team PB and chocolate. Raise your hand if you're cherry almonds. Who's cherry almond? And it's like, I'll take it. But they were delicious, and I hope you guys are excited about them as I am. I posted last week these quick guides to show you how these bars can help you fulfill your 50 PV or 90 PV qualifications that you need, whether in your account, a spouse's account, or whatnot. But really great quick guides, and also for your customers and future coaches, so you can share that with them. Mes de Más, exciting stuff. The workout was phenomenal. I was so sore the very next day. I think the best way I could describe it is that it's kind of T25-ish, a little bit of 22-minute hardcore-ish, but exciting. I like the way she structured the workout. You got to try a cardio one. I know the workout is mostly based on having no equipment. It's all with your body, so a lot of calisthenics. But as you guys know, our very own Becky Brisset is actually casted in the program. And her role in the program, you know how every program has a modifier? Well, Mes de Más is going to have an intensifier. And guess who got picked for that? Becky. Becky is the intensifier, and she'll be showing us the same moves throughout the workout, but I heard it's with a sandbag. So that's extra exciting. We have something to look forward to. And by the way, Donna, I know you're looking at me like, but what if I don't speak Spanish? Don't worry. Don't worry. It's all going to be dubbed in English, or you can have us there. Yeah, your husband. I know your husband speaks Spanish. But for all non-Spanish speakers, don't worry. It's going to be dubbed in English, and this is going to be a program for everyone. We also know that 2B Mindset is about to launch in about 2 weeks or so. Make sure that you're on the Diesel Nation team call happening tomorrow. It's at an odd time because we had to work around. Oh my God, I just drew a blank. What's her name? Ilana. I just drew a blank right now. We had to work around her schedule, but it's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. And yes, it will be recorded like all team calls, but that's definitely a call you want to get onto because we're going to learn all the ins and outs of 2B Mindset and how we can get out there and help people that are going to need the help when it comes to emotional eating, stress eating, people that have bad relationships with food, people that have weight to lose, and it makes it almost impossible for them to even think about a program like 21 Day Fix because their body is just not there yet. This is a tool that you're going to be able to help people. Whether it's for you or not, you definitely want to make sure that you learn it. And I will tell you something. Having that Nina, I don't know if you guys knew this, Nina Sinistera on our team was in the 2B Mindset test group. So was Katie Green. And the more I got to hear from them about this program, I realized it's for all of us. Anyone and everyone. The rule, and you'll learn it very soon, the 2 bunnies, is something that we could use in life. All of us can use. So definitely tune in tomorrow so that you can hear more about the program, how it's going to launch, and how you can use this to leverage and help people that perhaps have been too intimidated to start with you, watching you do 80-day obsession when they can't quite get their bodies there just yet. Okay. Another piece of exciting news, we found out that Joel Freeman is coming out with a new program called Lift 4. You know, this girl is really excited about that. I love lifting, and this is a 4-day-a-week program that's going to launch on Beachbody On Demand, and we're going to find out more about that getting closer to Summit. But the trailer was super awesome, and I know I'm super excited about that too. Okay, so that's all Super Saturday stuff that we heard this week and all the new releases. Now, I want to remind you guys as a team, I'm starting to gear up and get everything planned for Summit, okay? So if you are a Diesel Core coach and you are going to Summit, you need to make sure that you are plugged into the Diesel Core Summit 2018 page for 2 reasons. One, that's how I'm going to pull out of there who to expect at this event so that we know who's there from our team. And 2, there's where all the information that you're going to need leading up to Summit to prepare you, especially if it's your first time for this event, that is where everything's going to be posted. So I mean, I know a lot of you guys are wondering, what do I wear? What do I pack? What can I expect? What do I take, for snacks and food and all that kind of stuff? Where do we meet? I see all the time, Diesel Nation is always in a sea of red. What night is that? All these details are leading up to that will be plugged into this group. We also have track selection coming up. So you definitely want to make sure that you're in there in case you're worried about that. A lot of us will be talking back and forth about track selection. It can help you make your decision. All right. Second to last thing, we have an elite push group that Christina Delgado and I have started. Okay. This group is for all coaches who are planning to make their mark in 2018 and push to be either an elite team or a premier team, okay? If this is you want to be plugged into this push group. Now, this push group is going to have sporadic training plugged in. So guest speakers that are come in and speak about different things pertaining to elite and to help you reach your goal and end the year strong. But at the same time, it's going to be a group where every month, every time you get that report, you're going to post it there and we're going to talk about it. Okay, what were your strengths? Okay, what do you got to work on? And it's just going to be your accountability group. It's going to be there with the people that are in the same mindset as you, pushing for this goal to help you push the same way. The requirement to enter into that group is you must be a diamond coach, okay? Because why? Because that's when you get your reports. You only get elite reports once you achieve the diamond rank. So it almost is pointless to be into that group if you're not getting a report every month, okay? And then the last thing, May 11th. Mark your calendars because we are going to have an exclusive VIP Craig Collier from corporate coming down just for us, diamond training. This one's happening. This is super exciting. He called me up one day. He says, Monica, I see all the work you guys are doing down there. I think Miami needs a training, a diamond training to take it to the next level to help these coaches that want to, hit diamond, star diamond, elite, premier, all these goals that we've been talking about since January. We are going to have the privilege of having corporate presence, and you guys are hearing it for the very first time. I have locked in Andrea Crowder to be a guest speaker, and I think we're at the moment number 2 coach in the entire network, Amy Silverman, will be at this training. That's so far. I have a couple of other things up my sleeve. So again, May 11th, and I'll give the requirement out coming soon, all the details when you have to cross the finish line and be a diamond to qualify for this training. But it's definitely the place you want to be come May 11th. So set the goal, set the intention, let's go. You can do this. We saw Angie Matos on our team achieve diamond in 3 weeks. If she can do it, you can do it. All right? It's not that big of a deal. 8 people. All right. That's all I have on my list. So now, and I should have done this before. Sorry, don't kill me. But I'm going to announce her list of accolades is so long, guys. You just have no idea. I'm going to announce our guest speaker. Let me get on my screen something that I wanted to share real quick. I'm a hot mess today, guys. My kids threw me for a loop. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is Joan, okay? Joan is a 10-star diamond coach. Woo! 4-time elite, Success Club 10 legend. In Success Club, get this, guys, for 53 consecutive months, okay? She is a wife, a dog mom, and dog mom to George, and wife to George? No, I don't even know. You can clarify this for me. But this is Joan. This is her amazing results with 80-Day Obsession. You probably shared her picture a gazillion times when the test group results came out because they were so amazing. And I'll tell you that me, personally, being in that group, there were about 80 of us, right? Joan, if I'm not mistaken, there was like 80 or so coaches in there. And there were always results and stuff, but there were some people that are just always quiet, and there were the people that were constantly posting, constantly cheering on the next person, constantly, and she always stuck out to me. Her results from day to day to day, she was changing right before all of our eyes. It was exciting, and she never, she was always there to give a nice comment to everyone else. And that's what I loved about her. So when leadership came around that very same year, when I saw her across the room, I had to be like, I need to give you a hug. I love you. You're awesome. And that was actually at the first party, right? The very first time. It was like an opening reception or something like that. And so that's when I met her. We were there. We were talking, laughing, And then Christina Delgado, I don't know how, asked one of us to hold her phone. I'm not sure exactly how this went down, but Christina asked us to hold her phone. She turned around, and then this is where I knew Joan and I just clicked. Because as soon as we got a hold of Christina's phone, this is what we did. Neither of us really thought, we just started, leaving all these beautiful pictures for Christina to see afterwards. And finally, a friendship born. And she's here today to share so much insight with you guys on Success Club and tell her story as a coach. So Joan, take it away. You didn't do this. You guys, I did her team call a couple weeks ago, and she's like, man, I forgot to dig up the pictures.
I did. I didn't dig them up, but it was so funny because we didn't even say anything to Christina. And then Monica goes, oh my God, I forgot we didn't even take a picture together. And Christina was like, oh yes, you did.
Yes,
and
you did.
Went and posted all of that. So it was like, oh wait, we did, just not on either one of our phones. So guys, I did create, you guys are going to be the first to go through this little presentation that I just did because I actually created slides because corporate asked me to train them on this. So tomorrow I'm actually speaking with the Jeffs, and I always think that's funny. Has anybody seen the movie Office Space? Oh my God. I've got a meeting with the Bobs. I have a meeting with the Jeffs. So I created it so that I could get dual use of it and share it with you guys. But I figured I would introduce myself first and so you know who the heck I am. And then I'll go ahead into some of the training of what's really been working very well for my team. We have several people that are in qualification. We have, one that's in 5-star qual, one that's in 2-star qual. We have 5 people that are in 1-star qual right now. Everybody was killing it. We had our best month ever last month with Success Club numbers. Actually, we had more people in SE10 than we did in SE5. It was like insane, and it just keeps growing. And so I'm going to share with you guys like what that is and how, like what we're doing to get there and to make that happen. But first off, I just thought I would start. My story is a little bit different than other coaches, I feel, because my husband actually signed up to coach before I did. His name is Ryan. George is my dog. And, yeah, and so Ryan signed up to coach back in 2013. He signed up with our upline coach, Chris Reed. Not sure if you guys know him. And they had met through like a P90X just like community on Facebook. And so Chris had reached out to him, asked him if he wanted to coach. Ryan been doing P90X. He felt like really awesome. So he was like, yeah, this seems like it's something that's right, down my alley. On the other hand, when he signed up, I was like, no way in hell am I ever doing that. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be part of an MLM. I am not fit. Nobody would listen to me. Like I had so many preconceived notions about like what coaching was and what multi-level marketing is and network marketing, and just didn't want anything to do with it. But I think the bigger piece was that I wasn't happy with myself. I was overweight. I had just gone through like a really difficult time in my life. I don't know if any of you guys saw the video that I did for one of the one of the Super Saturdays about my story, but something that they left out in there, which I thought was weird, but is a big part of my story, is my dad had passed away. My dad actually took his own life. And for me, I went into a very deep depression for a long time. And that depression meant I ate a lot. And I covered up my feelings by just eating and pretending that I was still okay and happy. But I wasn't. And it took me like a really long time to get back to myself. And it wasn't really until Ryan had already signed up to coach. It wasn't really until I stepped on the scale at one point and I realized I was 197 pounds. And I'm 5'7", and I was like, that's just not normal. Like, oh my God, I'm almost 200 pounds. Like, and that's when it just like set in, like you've let yourself go this far. Like, not only are you tired and you don't feel good about yourself and you don't feel good about life, like you don't like getting dressed in the morning, you don't like doing any of that, but now like it's like legitimate, like it's showing on the scale. So that's got to be affecting my health too. And I saw some girls on Facebook doing Insanity, and they were posting about them doing their workouts every day together. They were posting that they were getting the best results of their life. And I was like, So I came home and I said, came home from work and I said to Ryan, I was like, I think I'm interested in doing Insanity. And he was like, great, we're going to set you up as a coach. And I was like, no, I said I would never sign up as a coach. And he was like, yeah, but you don't really have to do anything. We're going to sign you up for the discount. You're going to get Shakeology. This is how you do it. Like, sit down. And I had the computer in front of me and he walked me through, and I was like really stubborn about the whole thing. And at the end, he was like, here's where you put your credit card information in, yada, yada, yada. And when I was done, I slapped the laptop shut and I walked out of the room and I said, hope you're happy. Like, that was my attitude towards it. But and then I got Insanity in the mail, right? And so this was in July of 2013. I did the program. I took out the calendar and I just decided I was going to mark off every single day as I did it. And I was going to follow it to a T. The workouts I was going to do every single day. I was going to drink my Shakeology as planned. I didn't actually follow a nutrition plan, which is interesting. But because I was working so damn hard in those workouts, I think you naturally just start making better choices because, like, you're dying. Like, Insanity killed me. So what I would do is there were times where I didn't want to do my workout, but I would look at that calendar where I had started making those X's and I didn't want to skip an X. And then like, it was like 2 weeks in and I was like, oh, I got to keep going. And so that really kept me going. But then also like just that voice kept running through my head of my friends that were doing it that said to me like, yeah, you absolutely can do it. And if you follow it to a T, you'll get the best results of your life. So even if I was crying or struggling or whatever, I still kept going. And through that, I did all 60 days. I lost 30 pounds. I lost 27 inches in 60 days. And it wasn't just like a physical transformation. It was a complete mental shift. And not just a mental shift, but an emotional shift. Like all of those tears that I was having through that workout was me letting go of emotions that I had been holding on to for so long. And like, I feel like with every pound lost, like it was like new life gained. And I just felt completely different. And so people started noticing it. They started noticing that it wasn't just that I was thinner or that I looked better. They were noticing I had more energy, that I seemed more confident, that I was happier, that it was kind of back to being old Joan. And also it opened my mind to other things too. So I was working mentally, physically, emotionally through insanity. And then all of a sudden this gift of like a spiritual component was given to me as well when I ran into somebody random on a camping trip, and they introduced me to Gabrielle Bernstein, and I started following her stuff and reading her stuff. And so it all came together at the same time. And Ryan and I got on a flight out to California. Our friend was getting married, and this was October. It was just as I had finished the program. I remember, spending my day in the sun reading Gabby, and then getting dressed and going over to the wedding and seeing all these people we hadn't seen in months, and some of them over a year, and them all being just like completely blown away by my transformation inside and out. And on the flight home, it was then that I just had that like aha, where I looked at Ryan and I said, okay, I get it. Like, this is different. This is different. This changes you from the inside out. This isn't just about like peddling shakes to somebody. This isn't about like, here, buy my hair product or buy my face cream or, buy these tights or like whatever it is. This is something that truly changes you. And because you're happier, you want to help other people be happy too. And I get that. And I almost felt like I just had an obligation. Like, how could I know this and have this gift that completely changed my life and keep it to myself? Like, it just felt very selfish to me to do that. So when we got home, we got on the phone with Chris, and Chris kind of walked me through his story, and I listened to him, and I was like, okay, he has what I want. He's a stay-at-home parent. His wife is a stay-at-home parent. Like, he retired from being a SWAT leader like early and ditched his pension because he was making so much money. And I was like, okay. And at the time I said, then even that I wouldn't leave my job because I liked it and I enjoyed it. I was a social media and SEO specialist. I messed around at work, drank beers in the office, did pull-ups in the office. We had a pull-up bar. We would get bored and make like forts out of like leftover marketing materials. I mean, it wasn't like a hard job. My job was to play on Facebook all day. I got to bring George to work with me, and he would sleep under my desk and come to meetings. So when I left my job, people were like, what the hell are you doing? But Chris had said to me, give yourself the option. Like, you don't have to say, I want this to be a full-time gig. I don't have to want to be a full-time coach, but give yourself the option. And so, kind of funny, when I had the option, all of a sudden I didn't love my job so much, right? I was like, freedom or coming to work every day, freedom. So I literally just started running. When I first started coaching, one of the first posts I put up was a before and after picture from me doing Insanity. I didn't want to put it up. I actually fought Chris and Ryan on putting it up and told them that they just wanted me to post my picture so that they could make money. Like, literally, these are the things that I said. I was such an asshole. Sorry. And then, but Chris would remind me, he said, you said you'd do whatever it takes to be successful, and I'm leading you down that path. So if you do what I say, you'll be successful. So I was like, all right, screw it. Like, what's this going to do? Like, whatever. And I, posted it. I'm like, great. My grandparents are going to see this. My boss is going to see this. Like, oh my God, that friend from middle school is going to see this. Like, holy crap, like sweating, want to vomit. Those are usually your best posts. And then I put it up, and I had almost 200 likes on that post. And from that, I had like 45 people in my first challenge group that I ever ran. And I, made $1,300 my first month as a coach. And so that was really eye-opening to me as well. I was like, crap. Well, I mean, I don't have to touch my salary to pay my rent or to pay my electric bill or my phone bill right now. Like, what could I do if I really did, go after this and work for this? Because I'm thinking to myself, geez, I'm sitting at this job that I went to college for, that, I graduated and I did everything the way you're supposed to do. And then I have to sit in this little office all day with people that aren't really the people I want to be hanging out with. And I get paid this amount, but I just earned the same amount like this. Okay, so let's see what can happen here. And within 6 months, I was matching my salary paycheck for paycheck. I got paid on Thursdays at my full-time gig, and I got paid on Thursdays for Beachbody. And after like 6 weeks of them being the same, I just looked at Ryan and I was like, should I quit? And he was like, yeah, I think you should. And I still just held off. I held off. And then all of a sudden I was sitting there at my desk, and on Facebook, I saw this quote, and it said, if it's no longer serving you, let it go. And so I let it go. And that day I decided I was going to quit. And I quit, gave my notice, and it was the best thing I've ever done. And I've literally like continued to just make more money and continued to have more fun and feel more free and happy since then. And like, so it was like, okay, that big goal of like wanting to quit my job's gone. Now what? And so now it's like, get out of debt. Now it's, buy a house. Now it's, I want others that I'm training as coaches to be able to do what they want to do and achieve their goals. And that ripple down effect is really like what drives me. So I just had my coach Meg quit her full-time job in November. So that was awesome. I have another coach who I feel like will be quitting like within the next few weeks. And so I now have like 3 or 4 full-time coaches underneath me, and people in Start Diamond Qualifying and sending me, weekly about like, oh my God, biggest paycheck, or I made this, or I made that. And that lights my fire, and that absolutely just like keeps me going in this business. So that's my background. But with that said, part of that figuring out like how to help other people get what they want and how to help them be successful, because that's really what drives me, is me always looking for a better way. It's me always looking for a solution to create something that's like the most simple system that you possibly could create, and that somebody else could follow to a T and get the same results that you're getting doing it. And so at the end of November of this year, I'd gone through 80-day obsession. I knew the launch was coming. I've never done a launch for a newer program, like in what I would consider a successful way, right? And maybe it was successful for me, and like, but then like, I didn't know how to like translate that to my coaches. Like, so for instance, I was in the 22-minute hardcore test group as well. And when that ended, that month I made like, I think SC30 within the first week of the month. And I was like, yay, because I got like extra things when I went on like the cruise for Beachbody. Cause like you had to like, I don't know, get SE20 or something before the cruise. And so I was all excited about that. But like, that was based on my like posting my pictures and like people following my journey and like all of that. So that was easy. But my coaches were like, okay, what do I do now? Like to get into Success Club and to use like your test group results for myself. And so I knew going into this that I didn't want that same like hang up or that same block there. I needed to figure out how I was going to translate my success with 80-day obsession into my coaches having a successful business. And so I was actually on a plane on my way home from visiting my family for Thanksgiving. And I was like, okay, I want to create a launch party. Like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to create a launch party. I don't know what I'm going to put in there for content yet. I'm going to tell my whole team we're doing it right now. They can add their people. I'm going to tell them how they can invite people to this launch party. Here's the verbiage they can use. Here's how you can do it. Like, get out there, go for it, do it. And then the next day, I actually went in and I just created the posts like during the day from like, oh, I guess I should talk about this. Oh, I guess I should talk about that. And so this is kind of how what I'm going to talk to you about, which is Snoop Groups, was born, because this group that I created, the launch party is what we called it at the time, made it so that I was able to make SC 76 in the month of December, and literally ensured that I was an elite coach this year. Without it, I would not have been elite. I had all of the new diamonds, I had the rank, but what I was missing was customer volume points. And so I needed to sell the crap out of some stuff. And so luckily we were given these new challenge packs that gave us more volume, right? But I needed to sell the crap out of them. And so I needed to figure out how to multiply my time, like, you know what I mean? Or figure out a better way. And this was my better way. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to just go right past like the part where it tells you like the name of the group. If I hit play, I think I can't like use like controls anymore. So hopefully this works. You guys can see my slides. Okay, cool. So what is a Snoop group? So basically it is a group where we put information in it to help like sell a program or a product. And I know that everybody hates the word sell, but guess what, guys? That's exactly what it did. And so we want to do it in a way where we are doing everything that we would in a conversation with somebody if we were talking to them one-on-one. Like, we want to create the value behind what we're selling to them, not just give them the info that they could go and like look up. So for instance, have any of you read the book like Entrepreneur Roller Coaster? Great book. I think it's by Darren Hardy. If you haven't, go and just listen to it, because like the audio is fantastic. But he talks about actually somebody who is selling condos down in Fort Lauderdale, and how there was one guy that was way better than the rest, bringing in millions of dollars more than everybody else there, even though they all had these same buildings to sell, right? And so when they asked him what his secret was, he said that his secret is that he sold $1 million closet. He sold a $2 million parking space. He sold like a, $1.5 million view. And so the reason why he was saying that is because he didn't just sell based on what he had. He sold based on what that person really valued and wanted. So he had conversations with them and he figured that out, right? So through all the conversations that I've had with people over the course of being a coach, I've realized that there's certain themes of things that hold people back. It's like they're worried that they're not going to stick to the program. They're worried that it's not worth the money that they're spending. They're worried that they're going to starve, or they're not going to be able to stick to a diet. They're worried about whether they're going to be able to do the workouts or the programs. They want to know what they're getting themselves into within, like, do I have to buy anything else? Or like, do I have to drink the shake? Like, all those common objections that you would typically get are things that you're going to want to talk about in the Snoop group. And so this is a tool is awesome because we have everything lined out for them. I'm going to share with you in just a second what we put in there, but we have everything lined out for them. So it's answering all of their questions for you. So like, if you were to sit there on a one-on-one conversation, you're going to get all of these, these questions from somebody, and it's going to take a lot of time. Sometimes conversations take hours. Sometimes they take days, depending on when like somebody gets back to you or not. But what this group does is it has it all in one place so they can go through it at their own pace. And literally, we wanted to create something that they could be in and out and get all the info in less than 20 minutes. And then we didn't want to create something that was like about us. It wasn't about like me sharing my journey. It was more about them. And it wasn't about like, having all of our faces in there. It wasn't about talking forever. I know that like sometimes doing a live video is like the easiest thing to do, but sometimes it's not the most convenient thing for other people to listen to, because it usually takes longer. But if we could create something that was a post that they could read through really quickly and still got the, what we needed to get across done, we did that so that it was faster for them. And then the videos we kept less than 5 minutes so that it would keep their attention. And so it really became a space where like we got like any objection that they would have come up with, we already addressed, and it was like completely obliterated before we even started our conversation again. So what did I put in there? The first thing I did was, what I love about this, you guys, is we created this as a team. And so our entire team is using it. Our entire team has something to invite to. You can create one as a team yourselves, or like if you wanted to, you could take this template and you can go create your own, and you can add your own people in there and you can start doing it. You can do it with anything you want. It could be about like an all access challenge pack. It could be about 80-day obsession. You could do one on like the 3-day refresh if you wanted to run like a quick group like that. I actually gave this information, like I went through a training with Candace Talbot and her team, and I know that in 1 week they sold 250 3-day refreshes using a group like this. So that's pretty badass. So what I do is I started with a video montage of my journey. So if you've ever started a program from start to finish, then you probably, as a coach, have been taking pictures, whether they be like accurate, like true, like weekly before and afters, or just like videos and pictures, etc. as you go. Selfies in the mirror, little videos while you're working out, all of that stuff. So I literally created this the night before we launched that pre-launch party, and I was sitting in bed and I was like, I could just grab all of the stuff that I've posted to Instagram over the past 80 days. And so I literally just, put it all in one little folder on my phone. I created an iMovie of it. And then I just made things like shorter clips of stuff so that it would fit and wouldn't be like crazy long. And then I was like, do I want to put music with this? Nope. Facebook will kick me off if I have music with this. Do I want it? Like, it's not short enough to be like something with Instagram. I've got to put it on YouTube. YouTube would kick me off if I put music on it. What can I do? And so I just made the video. I went to bed and I woke up and I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to voice over. I'm going to talk about my journey from start to finish while the pictures scroll through. I'm going to talk about how I felt when I first got that email asking me to be in the test group. I'm going to talk about how I realized, oh my God, like this is like the rest of my entire summer. It's going to go through birthdays and travel and I had a funeral I had to go through. It's going to go through all the way until basically Halloween. Like my entire summer is over. I went through the thought process of that. I went through how I felt about the eating plan. I talked about the group. I talked about my results. I talked about everything. And I did it through to the end of the video. And so that was the video that I started with in this group. And so I do recommend that if you have those results, even if you want to get creative and do it like as a team and take team results or whatever and just talk about it, like create something where they're going to see like a physical transformation from start to finish in video form and something that is really going to evoke emotion. With mine, I know that like my team watched it for the first time and they started crying. So I was like, okay, I did good. So if you can make people cry, all the better. So create a video. Okay, that's how we opened it up. And then when we put people in the group, we tag them right there and we just say start here. And then we put social proof in there. So I took all of the pictures from those that were in the test group with me. Monica, you're in there too. But I didn't just post their pictures. I posted a screenshot of posts that they were putting on social media or that they had added into the test group. Because that way it wasn't just showing like, oh, here's this random person's before and after picture. It was showing them as a human being, somebody that someone else in that group can relate to. She's a mom, or she was, doing a little bit more 80-20 than she thought. Maybe it was more 50-50 rule than that. Or, maybe she didn't think that she could do it at first. Or maybe this person just had a baby or whatever it was. And then like them showing and walking through like their transformation and saying like what this program did for them. So I tried to find posts like that people had put up. And that was what we used in a photo album in there as our before and afters to show that proof. It was the whole person, not just pictures. The performance line, we do have an awesome post in there. Actually, I think I just stole it from Brittany Leggett. She put it in the roundtable. So if you want to go Google that, you can look it up, you can. But hers was really like holiday oriented. So I just ditched the holiday part of it and started talking about, how when we start going to purchase a program, we start watching the numbers go cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching as we add on more stuff to it. And how I wanted these guys to know what the performance line did for them, how everybody that they just saw in those photos used it, what it's done for me, and why you shouldn't really worry about the cha-ching, cha-ching, because I've been sharing since the beginning that following this program has actually helped me save money, not spend more money, because I used to go out and eat and drink all the time. And now I'm following a food plan and I buy specific things every week. And so I've been able to pay out like $8,000 in like credit card debt, which is crazy. So I shared that there. Then what they can expect in the challenge group. So one of my coaches, Shannon, jumped on there. She talked about like what goes on in our challenge groups, what they can expect, how it keeps you motivated. She's a mom. And so like she had her kids like yelling in the background, like while she's filming this video talking about the challenge group, right? So right there, it's showing you like, if she can, you can. She talks about how she's a nurse and how she works overnights and how she's got 2 kiddos and dogs at home and a husband, and how this group has helped her. So it's not just like, oh, you can go in the challenge group and it's awesome, like people post their sweaty selfies. No, it was her talking about how it helps her with everything else that she has going on, and like what they can expect to see in there and what other type of people we already have in the group. So great way of showing people like what they can expect for value and how it's going to help them stay accountable. I shared an infomercial. So like for this one in particular, I did 80-day obsession. Guys, they spend hours and lots of money on those infomercials for a reason. Like I don't know about you, but if it's ever late night and you're like find like, T25 on TV or something, I'm like, I want to buy it all over again. Like infomercials work. So I put that in there because that's going to excite them too and give them just a little bit more information. We have a post in there that asks them if they're a new mom. And then if they are, like, is it okay if they do this program? Is it okay if they take the supplements and that sort of thing? So we're addressing that before they get to it. We have a video on nutrition. But it's not just saying, oh, this is Time Nutrition and you're going to eat from the container system and this and this and this. We explain the science behind it. Like how every meal is macros based, not just macros for your day. I also talk about how, as a whole, women have been lied to and told that they need to eat 1,200 calories a day and do tons of cardio in order to get the results that they want. And what has happened is, I don't know any females that are like super stoked about their bodies, right? Like everybody's frustrated. Everybody feels deprived. Everybody feels like they can't stick to a diet. Everybody feels like they're failing at all of that stuff. And it's because they've been lied to. So that is what our nutrition post is about, is me doing a short video on that and how I increased the amount of food I ate each month during this and saw the best results that I ever have. So now you have people who were worried that they weren't going to be able to go out to eat, or worried that they were going to be starving, going, oh, okay, maybe I can follow this. And then equipment. So we have another coach on our team who went in there and just talked about the loops, talked about the sliders, talked about how you're going to be super annoyed with the loops at first, but then they become your best friends. How, like, you know, the sliders work that belly area that's so hard to reach on ladies, especially moms, like that lower pooch area that you're trying to get rid of. So we talk about all of that stuff that like every female is concerned about and that everybody has questions about before they even talk to us. They're being put in this group. And so then, let me see. I think I actually, yeah, my slides I think are a little messed up. I missed one of them. How much? Okay. So I also put how much in the group, right in the group. The prices are out there and they're upfront and honest with everybody. And I think that honestly, the only thing that I've gotten in return from doing this, because I feel like some people don't want to talk about like the price because they're worried they're going to lose somebody. But I feel like if you put it out there right away and they see it, if you've done a good enough job showing the value of what you are inviting them to, they're not going to worry about the price, but they are going to be like, if they can't afford it at that very moment, then they're going to say to you, I absolutely 100% in, but I have to wait till this date. That's what I get a lot of from this. Or, yeah, I'm in. Like which pack should I get? Because we put it right out there and we show the packs that are available to them. And because we're showing all of the packs in an image, I have a lot more people going with the combo pack instead of the base pack because they don't want to just be basic. So why is this working? On the coaching side, it's working because it combats fear. It combats fear of inviting. So for all of those newer coaches on your team, they have a place to invite somebody to. They have a place that's got all the information on it for them. They have their team helping them sell this product, right? Like it's not all on them to answer every question that somebody comes up with. And that's sometimes what stops somebody from reaching out in the first place, because they're like, what if I don't know what to say? Well, you don't need to with this because I'm literally showing you exactly what to say. And it's completely duplicatable. So like, then when they sign a new coach, they can tell them exactly how to use this group too. And they can show them exactly what the flow of conversation is to get them in the group, which I am going to share with you guys. It works for all product launches. So like you could do a group for beach bars. You could do a group for Lift 4. You could do a group for any of those coming out, or you can do a general group and you can just keep it up for all time and have it there. Right? And so it's a time saver too, because you're not wasting as much time in those one-on-one conversations, like dealing with so many detailed like questions. You absolutely can answer any of their questions after they've seen this, but they're going to be coming from a much more educated standpoint. So it's not every little detail that you have to go back and forth on. And then also, yeah, like I said, they always have something to invite to. So like, I know like, you know, Carl Zeichler's, you know, always talking about it, like build urgency, always have a date, have like something to invite to at all times. This is giving your coaches that. And then we use donuts. So does everybody know what a donut is? Okay. So Carl ran a group last May and it was called I'm Here to Help, right? I think that's what it was called. And in it, he started talking about donuts. And guys, I'm really, really bad with like sports analogies, but here's what it was. When you, when you step up to plate, to bat, Ryan, whatever. When you're about to hit baseballs with a baseball bat, you don't just get up there and take a first whack out of it like when you're like about to play the game, right? Of course, you take some practice swings first. And so what they do is they have these little metal donuts that they throw on their bat, and then they can start like swinging like this, and it's going to work them out, warm up their muscles and get them going, right? So he compared those donuts that they do when they're getting ready before they actually go out to play and try to hit a home run, that like these are kind of your warm-ups. So he said that when you wake up in the morning, send out 5 donuts. Don't even judge who they're going to. Who cares? Look at your friends list and just send out 5 freaking invites. Like off the bat. And so that gets rid of the hairy, scary, like, oh my God, I've got to invite people today because you already did it. And they work really freaking well, you guys. I did this this past summer. Like, our team just started doing donuts like crazy, and they started blowing up. They work. And you don't really have to worry about who you're sending them to. Like, we literally will go down our friends list on Facebook and we'll just send them. And like, it just says something simple like, you know, hey lady, not sure if you've seen like what I've been posting lately, but I'm getting amazing results with this program. Have you ever considered jumping into it with me? Something really like that simple. And then the person will be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Or, yes, I have seen it and I've thought about it. Or, I don't know, maybe I'd be interested. Or, yeah, I actually have been seeing your posts and I was going to, you know, message you. But whatever it is, if it's like a yes or like a nice, like maybe or thought or like idea of like maybe I'll be interested, then you can add them into the group, right? And so we also teach our coaches text replacement. So I don't know if you guys know that one either, but you can use your iPhone and you can create text replacement. So if you go to settings on your iPhone and then you go to general, and I'm just going to go through it quickly because you guys can always look through this recording, right? So then you go to keyboard, you can go to text replacement, and you can see that in there you can create a little shortcut, and then you can actually put in or like, you know, copy and paste in like a paragraph. So maybe that paragraph's your invite, right? So you don't have to type it out every single time you go to send a donut. It's right there for you. So what I do is I'll just show you guys real quick. Can you still see me too, or you just see my screen? You can see me too. Okay. So if you come into my text replacement, I'm going to bring this close enough that you can see it. Do you see where it says PH right there? Yeah. So if I clicked on that if I'm going to text somebody through Messenger or even through text message, and I hit the keys PH on my phone. So let's just send it to Ryan. So you guys, so I won't send it to anybody else. But if I type it in, this is to my husband. So if I typed in PH right there, do you see in the middle how it puts a text replacement for me? So if I click on that middle suggestion, you'll see it went ahead and it puts that entire text there for me. So I don't have to type it out. So then I can just hit send, and then all I've had to do is literally hit PH, tap the middle thing so it's on it, hit send. PH, tap the middle thing, hit. So I'm not even having to like type out an invite or think up an invite. It's right there in my phone. And the other thing that we do as a team is we do Power 15s, where I literally take the first 5 minutes to help them come up with a great message to send out to somebody as an invite. I help them set up as a text in their phone. And then once everybody on the call is all set up with their text replacement, we take the next 10 minutes and we make it into a competition, and we say send as many of these as you absolutely can in the next 10 minutes and invite them to the Snoop group, right? And so from there, that's how we get people added into the group. Let me just find this. Okay, I already did that one. So why does it work on the challenger side? So it combats fear for them too, right? You're going over every question that they would have had. You're building the value for them. You're showing that you're a real human. They get to see kind of like the culture of your team. They get to meet part of that community, and they're like, oh, okay, I kind of fit in here. It all works really well from them that way. It's all laid out so they don't feel like there's anything hidden. There's no bait and switch. They're like, okay, this is what I'm going to go with. And then also, like, it just allows them to go through things at their own pace. So you can say, I'm going to add you in here, and you can literally say to them, like, I'm going to follow up with you like tomorrow if I don't hear back from you by then. And so then you can know that they expect a message from you. They're going to go through it, like all of that stuff. And then they get really excited because they see all those before and afters and you guys talking about it, and they see the infomercial and they see the video, and they get really pumped because they start believing that they can do it too. So here's another trick, how to set up the group. So you want to use a social learning group. You guys, this is a new kind of group that they've added to Facebook. It allows you to create these things called units. And so when you create a unit, what's really cool about it is that you get to choose the order it goes in. So it's never going to go out of order just because somebody liked it or commented on it or anything like that. You can keep it just the way it is. So it keeps it really uncluttered and it keeps it really clean. And you can make the units mandatory, or you can make them optional. So like, for instance, that post about pregnancy, right? Not everybody's going to be postpartum. So I make that optional so somebody can skip right through that and go to the next unit that they want to watch. And so, and also like you just have your whole team help. So you can have your whole team go in there and just like all post at once. It doesn't even matter, because then you can like just change the order the way you want to. And you guys created a group within like 10 minutes and you're good to go. So let me show you. So when you're in Facebook and you create a group, once you've created that group, you're going to go to more. And under that, you'll see it says group type. And that's where you can pick a group type. And over here, like once that box pops up, you're going to click social learning. And that's what allows you to add those units to your group. And then here, I just took some screenshots of inside our group so you could see it, but you can see like post 2 where I'm talking about nutrition. At the bottom, it says next unit, right? And then it'll move you to the next one where you can click next unit and next unit, and then you can see that. And then you can see even over here where I posted the results, you can see like Christina's whole post is here, not just her picture. So they can scroll through that. So you guys can kind of see that. All right, so how to get people in this group. Power 15 is what I was just telling you guys about. We literally sit there, we take 5 minutes, we create text replacements or voice messages to you guys. What I've found is if you go to message somebody and you realize like, oh my God, it's all blue, I'm the only one who's been messaging them like the last 6 times, like I am a total stalker, then you can be like, I'm a total stalker, right? So you can voice message them instead and just say like, holy crap, just looked at this message. I am so sorry. Like, I promise I'm not trying to stalk you. If you are interested, I am here. I do think it's amazing for you. Not sure if something came up or you changed your mind, but I'm here if you want to chat. So that comes off really well because people are like, oh my God, no, like you're not bothering me, like, you know, and they finally message you back. But what I do is I create that voice message on Facebook and I send it to myself so that I have it there. And then I will put like what it's about. Like this is a follow-up to like my all blues, or like this is a follow-up to somebody who I haven't heard back from after, you know, sending an enroller or like whatever, so that I know what those voice messages are and I don't have to keep redoing them. And so then if you look at those, there's a little box and an arrow pointing up, and you can just press that and then you type in the person's name and it will forward that message to those people. So of course I also make it very generic. I'm not going to say like, hey Monica, instead I'm going to be like, hey girl, so I can reuse it for like other people. So we do those text messages and voice messages. We send out our donuts. So that's what we do during that 10 minutes. We donut people. And if you can go to Facebook, you can look under Messenger and click on people and contacts, and it'll literally list them all out for you alphabetically. So you can literally just go down that list and like do text replacement or voice message to all of those people. And we make it a fun little competition. So like whoever, you know, invites the most people during that 10 minutes will get like a PD book, or we'll get like a headband or like something like that. We play music during it. We make it fun. People are like dancing around and being silly because like we're on a Zoom on our computer, but like we're working on our phones. So we keep it fun. And then I just tell people like when we're all done with that, like I want you to go ahead and track it, because anybody that you just sent out that first invite to, I want you to follow up within 2 days. And in 2 days, we'll do a Power 15. And that Power 15 is going to be for following up. So we're going to have our text replacement all set for our follow-ups, our voice messages all set up for our follow-ups, and we're going to do the same thing, little competition and whatever. What's been really amazing about those Power 15s for our team is that during it, I've been like, okay, everybody post in the message now, like how many did you do? How many did you do? And you will notice like people's mindsets have completely shifted, because during that 10 minutes, they've been able to get out between 30 and like 90 invites. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to just tell you guys, like the average was like around 60 invites for people. So I don't want to hear that you don't have time anymore to invite 5 to 10 people a day, because that's a total load of crap. You have plenty of time. If you could just spend 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, and 5 minutes at night, you're going to be averaging way more invites than the average person does in this business, period. I was like, you can work from the toilet while you're sitting there peeing. Like you can work, you know, like you can work at a traffic light. You can work while you're standing in line, because you have your text replacement, you have your phone, you have your people. It's really super easy. Boom, 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 boom. So that's built confidence in people, and it's showed them that like they can do so much more than they thought they can, and that they really do have the time, because time excuse is a huge one. You guys have the master at Instagram, like as your coach. So I'm not going to go into detail there, but we are using social proof over there of, you know, so-and-so just signed up in our group. So-and-so just lost weight. So-and-so just lost, you know, made money. This person did this. This person just joined the Snoop group. We're sharing all of those things. We're sharing our journey and our lifestyle, but constantly inviting both there and on Facebook posts. I always say, like, don't ever just like ditch a social media platform because you'll regret it. So if you were on Facebook before and you ditched it and now you're completely on Instagram, you want to be in both places, you guys, because neither one of them are going anywhere. So, all right. Now, isn't this so fun? I made a flow chart. This is so not like me. All right. So I did this because I feel like some people are really visual and this is really helpful, right? So you start this whole thing off with an invite. Donuts are great for this. If they respond that they're interested, that's when you're going to say, I can't move my mouse. So you're just going to say, awesome. I have this little group. It's, info. You can learn everything you want. You want me to add you? We can chat after questions. Everybody always says, sure. Yeah. Add me. Go ahead and add them. They're going to go right through those units. You're going to say, let me know when you're done. And then you're going to check in. If you haven't heard back from them within 24 hours, you're going to say, hey, did you take a peek? Any questions? Looks awesome, right? And if they say, I'm ready, then you're going to go and you're going to send them the picture of the pack that you had available again. And you're going to say, awesome, which pack are you leaning towards? Or which pack would you like? And then you're going to do the share cart. That's literally how it works. Now, if the person has questions, you're going to answer them, and then you'll go into the share cart part. But that is the flow of it. And if it's not like a specific group, like 80-day, if it's a specific group like 80-day obsession, for instance, and you have somebody that you add in there that like after they're all said and done and they've, gone through this flow and they go, oh, I looked at it, but I just don't think I can do a program like that. It's too long or it's too strict or it's too hard or like whatever that is. That's your jumping off point to start talking to them about their goals and like, okay, well, what do you want to achieve? And like, how much time do you think you could do? Because this is just one program. Like I do have an entire library of like thousands of programs that could work for you. And like, we can still get you in a group that's going to help you achieve your goals and all that thing. So they're not like a lost cause if they don't sign up right then and there because that program that you're promoting in the group isn't right for them. All right. So, and then I know some of you are like, okay, great. See, I don't know how these got messed up, but I'm gonna have to fix them. So, I know some of you are like, okay, that's great for visual, but I want to like know exactly what you're saying. So my invite, hey, we have this amazing group starting to help people reach their goals and feel great for the summer. Wanted to invite you, any interest in doing 80-day obsession with us. Literally, guys, this is like what I'll create as a text replacement and I'll send to somebody. And most of the time they just respond. If they don't respond, I always say, check back in 2 days and just say like, hey, just checking back. I wanted to make sure that you got my message, any interest, questions. Because I do feel like if you send a cold invite to somebody, like it could be somebody you've talked to before, but you haven't talked to about Beachbody. It could be somebody that you've never talked to, period. Or it could be somebody that you've been talking to for a while and never did anything. And then you send one of these to. If you don't follow up just because they didn't respond, I think that makes you look more salesy than if you do, because it's kind of just like a drive-by, like, throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. But if you're going back, it's showing like, no, I actually am interested in helping you. So don't be afraid to follow up and realize that like really, truly it is in the follow-up where you find success. And so responses. So most of the time when they respond, they'll say something like, I've never heard of it. What is it? Or I've seen your post. You guys are rocking it. What's it all about? Or something like that. Like if it is not just like a, no, I'm not interested. If it's, a question, or if it's like, maybe or okay, or something like that, then you just add a little more information. Oh my God, I'm loving it. I'm eating more than I ever have, toning, losing, and feeling great. Actually, I have this little info group. Want me to add you to it so you can check it out and see if you have any questions afterwards. They say, yes, sure, okay, awesome. You add them to the group, you tag them to that first unit, you tell them to go through the units and get back to you when they're done, and then message you when they follow up. Now, if they don't follow up, you still do that step in that flow chart I just showed you, which is within 24 hours, you're going to check back in with them. And with the follow-up, here's what you just say. Hey, lady, did you get a chance to check out the group? Any questions? If they have them, answer them. But most of the time it's, how do I get started? Or I totally want to join. And I'm telling you guys, that's like truth. That's how people are responding to me after being in these groups. And I just say, awesome. Do you know what pack you want? And I send them the image of the pack. They tell me which one, or they'll recommend one. Now, guys, don't be afraid to recommend the combo or the mega pack for somebody, because I know that so many people want to shop with their own wallet, or they think that $180 is like so expensive already. So like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to ask this person to spend $220. Well, the 220 pack is on sale right now. So that's actually whatever it is, 200. So I'm bad at math right now. So then you just say to them, I would say, you're going to get the best results if you follow the program to a T. I would recommend that you follow it to a T for at least the first 30 days and see how you feel from there. If from there you don't want to be on Shakeology, or you don't want to be on the performance line anymore, like you can switch it up, you can change it, you can do whatever you want. But, I would say go at it all in. because you told me your results, you wanted these for results, and that you feel like this, and this is going to get you there. When you say that to somebody, they're like, okay, right? If somebody really is like, I cannot afford both, I have to just do one, which should I do, Shakeology or Performance Line? I don't go into all the details about Shakeology, you guys. I just say, listen, you just told me you were a mom and that you're super busy. You work a lot of hours. You are going to be eating 5 meals a day. You want one of them that you don't have to think about, that you can throw in the blender or shake in a cup and be on your way. I was like, so Shakeology is definitely what you want to go with because it's going to be super convenient. If it's somebody who's just getting started in working out, I am going to tell them to go with the Performance Line. And the reason is because it's going to give them energy and it's going to stave off soreness. And if they're brand new at working out, they're going to be ridiculously sore. And if they're way too sore, they're going to stop their program and they're not going to get results. So that's why I do that. So once I figure that out, I say, okay, I go to the link generator, share the cart, send to them, they get signed up. So that is how we're using the Snoop group. That is how we add people to the Snoop group. That is how my team is using it and teaching their people to use it, and why we are blowing up right now. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can actually look at the chat, and I'm available for any questions.
That was amazing. That is so cool. So the funny thing is that I'm sure a lot of them are thinking this. We've done something sort of similar. Like these, what we call fitness and nutrition expos. But doing these groups, well, first and foremost, I had no idea about the social learning group. That's awesome.
Yes.
So that would create chaos sometimes because I was posting stuff and then it all got mixed up. And then when you add someone in there, you're like saying start here, but then that start here gets lost, and so you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
exactly. I need to search around.
Right. That's brilliant. But I do love, but when I'm doing these, I'm just like loading it up with stuff. I do love that you're doing targeted ones. Like you say, like you can do it right now for beach bars. You can do it just for 80 session. We can do it for 2E mindset. We can do it for launch purposes, especially with, I think at Super Saturday, we were talking about sometimes we feel like it's launch overload. Like, where do we start? How can we control this? How can we do this in a manner that whoever needs it, it's there for? So I think this is brilliant. This is brilliant. And I really want to test this out, guys. I hope you guys paid attention because I want to test this out, especially with beach bars, to all of our existing customers as is, and then anybody else that may be interested. So I love it. I do want to say, guys, did you not notice one constant theme that Joan, the one thing I saw about her, how she's worked and she's kept organized. Like, how many of us, and I know I am so guilty of this, all my years in coaching, I never sat down to create systems, and I never sat down to save the work that I've done. And I was doing the same things over and over, wasting time, having those one-hour conversations, or rewriting the same, answer 20 million times to the same, different people, and just not getting organized and having like those. Me personally, I was doing it on notes now, but now that you showed me how to do that text, like abbreviated text stuff, that's so awesome. I didn't even know that existed. Amazing. That's going to be a game changer for me. But you've remained organized, and all the things that you're doing, and that's treating your business like a business, not just doing this off the cuff and just whatever comes your way, I'll figure it out. That is working and leveraging the things that you're doing and saving them and using them and creating systems. So I hope you took note of that, because I definitely did. It was another wake-up call that I could get better at it. But other than that, I think that this is something we could definitely take a hold of and run, guys. Don't you think? Yeah, I can see all their faces. Is there any questions that anybody has? The scripts were amazing. Hello. And we have the scripts, so don't worry if you didn't get a chance. I saw Anna snapping pictures every screen, but if you didn't get a chance, don't worry. I'm recording. I actually remembered to record today. But anybody have any questions? Do you create a new group each time, or do you leave it open? Oh, that was a question I had.
I leave it open.
Good. Okay.
Honestly, why would I do that to myself?
Yeah.
You say organized, I say lazy.
Well, no, but you're creating things. You're creating things that now can go back. You're being smart about it, creating them so that people can go back to them and use them. How many times have I said I did not save them, and it was good content, but I didn't take care of saving it.
Yeah, like how many times have you been asked, like when you're about to sign somebody up and you're like, what flavor Shakeology do you want? And they're like, what flavors do you have? How many times do you sit there and type out like chocolate, vegan, vanilla, blah, blah, blah. Like text replacement. You don't have to do that. Text replacement.
Joan, you're gonna laugh at me. I kid you not. I saved that to my notes today. in
like
late
literally
like we have.
But then you have to go to your notes, Monica, and copy it and then go back and paste it.
Yes.
And with this, you just type in something. Like your code could be FB, like for flavor or whatever. You know what I mean? But like also, I don't know if you know this, but if you are copying and pasting like an invite to people, like through Facebook, for instance, and you do it to enough people, Facebook will throw you in like Facebook jail for a little bit and you can't message people for like 24 hours because you're using this too fast. But if you're doing it with text replacement, for some reason it doesn't, because it looks like you're actually physically texting each person.
Interesting.
Instead of copying and pasting.
Cool fact. So. All right. You know that I'm an Instagram lover. That's where I personally, I don't think that either platform is quote unquote dead. And I definitely don't think, like you said, you should abandon either one. I keep both open. I work both, but I do well on Instagram. But I love that you're teaching us so many things on Facebook, because I think it's important, and it's a way to keep way more organized, and we have more capabilities on Facebook for things like this.
Right. Like you can't run a group on Instagram. So like all the people that come to me through my stories on Instagram or through my posts on Instagram and that message me there, I literally just say to them, are you on Facebook? Friend me, here's my URL. And so I was like, and then I'll add you in the info group. And that's literally what I do. And I get them in there that way.
I was talking to someone this weekend and I was telling them, I'm like, for me, I personally feel like Instagram is where I go to build my business, right? But Facebook is where I work my business.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're both equally as important. It's important to learn each function. And you kind of said it, like it's constantly evolving and you got to constantly be looking for a better way, like a better way to do things. And I hope that you guys caught on to that too, that she's constantly changing things up and finding out a new way to bring information to people in a better way. So
Tabitha just asked the question, what if they're not on Facebook? So what I do if they're not on Facebook is I grab that YouTube link to that montage video that I created, and I just send them that. And I said, I say, check this out. And then like, let's chat about questions. And I just do it really simple that way through Instagram if they don't have a Facebook account. But I do find that most people do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's what, like 6-7 billion people on Facebook?
And the people that don't, they're always like, should I? I'm like, yeah, kind of you should, because eventually if I can get them to be a coach, they're going to need it anyway.
I'm like, maybe, because I run my group on Facebook too. I don't use the tracker. I don't know if I should say that, but that's true.
All right. So
you just look like mind blown. I don't use the tracker, and here's why, you guys. I know I'm a horrible human being, but listen, I love that we have a tracker there for like purposes of like if anything was to ever happen to Facebook, we have a way to run our groups. But everybody's already on Facebook and they get the message through their notifications anyways, and then they're like right there and they check in, whereas like the tracker is something so separate that they have to download to their phone and then they have to go check into and they have to remember to go check into. I just feel like I mean, I think there's pros and cons both ways,
yeah. But again, guys, we talk about this all the time. You're going to get information thrown at you all over the place, right? Some things that Joan talked about tonight, we've done as a team. Other things are brand spanking new. Just like Angie, we heard from last week, some things we've been doing, some things are brand spanking new. This is where the CEO hat has to be put on. And you have to decide what's going to work for you, what you want to implement, what is for you right now, what may not be for you right now, and what will be for you in the future that you want to work towards. But the point is that, we just want to make sure that you getting information and tools to run your business the way you see fit. So I hope you guys feel that way and that this was, because I know for me, I'm getting ready to run. And I can see my sister was like, yes. Excited to test this out. That social learning group is awesome. All right. Last call. Any questions? And I think the whole way through everyone's like, but what do we say? What do we say? And then you came in with the scripts and we're all like, yes.
I know, because I hate that. Like, I hate it when people like share like half what they do. I'm like, just tell me what you freaking say or what you do.
I did an Instagram training, and
what are you afraid of?
One of my coaches today, she's like, Monica, Michelle was like, your training was great, but like, okay, you talk to people, but what do you say? Like, you didn't say what you say. I'm like, all right, okay, I gotta fill in the gaps. All right, guys. Well, Joan,
thanks for having me.
So much for your time, for your energy, for sharing with us tonight. Good luck in your call tomorrow. We were your guinea pigs, but I can tell you it solid stuff. That's really
I gotta change everything. That's fine.
Yeah, breaks his life. No, but it was amazing. Thank you for sharing all your secrets with us and all the things that you've learned along the way. Guys, you know how awesome that is for people to share the information and just keep to themselves. We love you for it, and we will definitely put it to use. So thank you so much. All right, guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.